waiting to be sure that I'm actually live, and then fiddle with the framing and the lighting like I do at the start of every single stream that I have ever done, ever. Hope this doesn't get all stupid on me the way the last one did. Waiting for confirmation that folks can see me. Hey! Hi, Kara. Oh, good. People can see me. Yay! Okay, I need to soften this. So, yes, as I predicted, I'm going to be fiddling with the lighting for a minute or so. So, bear with me. I'm trying to do this without having to get up from the chair because I am really, really lazy. Well, if we go with that. How does that end up looking? Yeah, I can live with that. Do that a little bit. Get myself more centered because I'm a vain bitch. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. Hope everybody's doing all right. How's Tricks? I don't turn tricks anymore. It's too cold. More light. Hi, Meg. Cheeky. Hotter than ever. That flattery will get you somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it'll get you somewhere. I'm a little bit goofy tonight. I may have spiked this more than had been my initial intention. And actually, since Meg's in the chat, you can thank Meg for the lips and also the eyeshadow. What am I drinking tonight? Tonight it is a warm apple cider and mulled mead, which is a glorious thing. Can you impersonate the adults from Charlie Brown? I can, but like I cannot help but wonder, like, is this something that you're going to clip and then use out of context for something? Screw it. Favorite Christmas song, Carol of the Bells. That one's easy. So much for a nice drink of Christmas water. It's water. It's slightly discolored, but it's water. Oh, can you now, Meg? Yeah, I bet. I doubt that's apple cider. Why do you doubt that? What other kind of cider would it be? I said I added other stuff to it. Is there another kind of cider besides apple that I'm unaware of that you're presuming? Cover your mouth, that's my advice. I prefer to make use of my mouth for the benefit of all. This is off to a good start. Have you seen Moonlight? Yes. I understand why it won a lot of awards. That is all I have to say about it. Have you seen Krampus? Nope. Nope, I have not. A lot of the quirkier picks for Christmas movies, especially stuff that's out more recently, like Krampus or Rare Exports and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know. Seriously though, how do you dance the Trans-Siberian Orchestra version of Carol of the Bells? I could probably dig up the video of me dancing to that in high school. Should be called Council of Geeks Flirts with the Chat. You know what? I think I probably will name one of the live streams that in the future. That is all. Oh, that's all you have to say about that, Meg? I doubt that for some reason. I might cover your mouth for the impression. It'll undermine any attempt at lip syncing. Ah, I did know what you meant, but I was having fun with it. Worst Christmas movie you've ever watched. Okay, so heads up, I can already tell I'm not going to be able to keep up with the chat. So if I miss your question and it's scrolled past, it's okay to ask again. Just don't spam it repeatedly. Okay, just give me a chance at it. Worst Christmas movie I've ever watched. The thing is, since I'm generally someone who goes out of the way to avoid bad movies or movies that I think will be bad, I have not taken in as much bad media as I think is standard for someone who makes their living on the internet. That having been said, it was probably Last Christmas. Dear God, why? What was the Oscar-winning film that made you so bored you had to watch The Prom? I am still choosing to not answer that question because it feels annoyingly loaded to even try and tackle. And I know if I answer that, people will ask why were bored, and I just don't want to have that conversation. I just don't. Forgive me for asking, but are you against marrying on principle? Kinda. So, all right. So here's my thing with marriage. Broadly speaking, I think it's a really bad idea. I say that as someone who has been married. And I don't regret being married. Partially because I actually had a very amicable divorce. It was about the smoothest divorce I've ever heard of anyone happening after 12 years of being married. But in my opinion, I forgot something. In my opinion, the fact that being married makes breaking up exponentially harder, that fact alone outweighs most of the scant benefits that it grants. I don't think it's worth it. That having been said, I don't judge people who get married. I don't judge people who want to get married. I don't think you're stupid for getting married. But you're asking, am I against it on principle? Yeah, kind of. Like, not harsh enough that I'm going to be like, ugh, married people. Ugh. But, I don't support it. Sorry. You can still have a party. Have a commitment ceremony. Have the party. Have the celebration of wanting to have a life together. That's fine. It's the legal proceedings I have an issue with. Not like the ceremony. Have a ceremony. Have a party. Like, you don't even need a reason. I support parties. Marry something missed. Thank you, Adam. Greatly appreciated. Did you watch The Grinch live on NBC? No. That's not a thing. I refuse to believe that is a thing that exists. You're messing with me. I don't believe you. Amanda, are you against yourself getting married? Thank you for clarifying. Well, yes. Since I'm against marriage in general, yeah, I am against the idea that I will get married again. Who would you rather play on Broadway? Jack Skellington, P.T. Barnum, or Sweeney Todd? Okay. Hang on, I gotta go through these. Jack, I would happily play any or all three. Jack's a little emo. Let's see. Barnum. See, here's the tough thing. I feel like I'd have a little more fun playing P.T. Barnum. But if I'm splitting hairs, which is what I have to do going between these three, there is that niggling thing in the back of my head, I wish this was an original character and I wasn't mythologizing that man. Might have to go with Sweeney Todd. Better to be a killer than to mythologize the real P.T. Barnum. There's a hot take. Careful talking about my boyfriend, Jack. Look, Meg, I love Jack. I'm just saying, for my own taste, he's a little emo. What have I done? I mean, a little bit. Give me that. If that's your thing, awesome. But, like, come on now. Maybe you should have cast you as the Grinch and Jesse Gender as Max. That would have been something. Just dropped in to say happy Yule, and it's 1 a.m. Have a good night. Have a nice stream. Thank you, Elfie. You have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Active chat. You sounded beautiful. Oh, thank you. Oh, see, now that, like, Meg's actually like a professional singer, so her saying that I sound, like, I appreciate it when anybody says I sound good, because ego, but, you know, the source can impact the amount of inflation. Have you seen Mrs. Santa Claus? It's a made-for-TV musical starring Angela Lansbury. No. I was unfamiliar. Can you grin like the Grinch? No, I can't. The way that you have to do that is, it's not just that the grin is big. You have to bring, like, the center of your mouth down at the same time the corners go up. I can't get that combination. The center of my mouth goes up when I smile, and I can't bring it back down to really emphasize the difference. Thoughts on Spearhead in space? It's fine. I feel that way about a lot of the quote-unquote iconic classic era Doctor Who episodes. Can you whistle or hum something from Hamilton? Here's the thing. I think that's just as likely to get me flagged as actually singing it is. Trying to think what I would even whistle or hum. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. Sorry. You people love to put me on the spot and just leave me hanging like a corpse on a gibbet. That's sweetly morbid for you. Can you impersonate the Grinch? Well, see, that depends on which Grinch we're talking about. Because there's the Boris Karloff Grinch. I must find some way to keep Christmas from coming. For tomorrow I know all those Who girls and boys will wake bright and early. I can do him, because I grew up on that. The Jim Carrey Grinch, first of all, I don't know it as well, because I don't like that movie all that much. There are decent moments. There's like his whole, when he's getting dressed and stuff, like, ooh, ah, that's it, I'm not going. So, I mean, I guess kinda. He's just kind of, he's got that voice that you get when you have fake teeth in, that a lot of actors end up with. 7 o'clock, wallow in self-pity. Dinner with myself, I can't put that off again. You know, I guess maybe I can, I don't know. You make the call. What's going on? And Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas indeed, Logan. Oh, Carowin, did we have to snipe somebody out of here? Ah, yes. Yes, we did. Good call. Good catch. Nicely done. Have a treat. What are your thoughts on Beavis and Butthead Do America? I have never seen it. I never really went for Beavis and Butthead. And I was like right in the age, like everybody my age thought it was the funniest crap ever. I just, like, I can impersonate them, but that's about all I've got. Yeah, cool. Fire. Cool. Shut up, Beavis. So, like, I could do that, and that would get me a laugh, but have you seen the Netflix cartoon Hilda? I've seen season 1. I haven't seen season 2 yet, and I won't for a bit because that's the next thing I'm going to watch with my kid now that we finish the first season of The Owl House. Yes, there will be a review of the first season of The Owl House up in the break room. I'm really trying to catch up on other stuff. I'm getting stuff up for the break room is tangential to a lot of other stuff I'm trying to get finished off. South Park or Family Guy? I don't really care for either at this point. I suppose South Park is still trying to have a point, except that its point is usually it's stupid to have opinions, and if you believe in anything, you're an idiot. So, is it worse to have no point, which is where Family Guy's at now, or to have a point that's not a point I think anyone should be making? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I used to enjoy both at various points, but I grew up and they didn't. So, do you still have a favorite toy or gift you received as a child? The collective Christmas I remember best was, I would have been 7, I think. Because that was the Christmas of Nintendo. Because it wasn't just a Nintendo system. It was a bunch of games, the ones you expect, like Super Mario Brothers. But I got 2 different Ninja Turtle games, the Nintendo Ninja Turtle games, the first 2. I got the DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, and I got a subscription to Nintendo Power as a Christmas gift as well. That was a good year. That was a good time. Have you seen any of the Carry On films? Nope, I know them by reputation only. A bunch of games are spoiled, but we still love you. Look, Meg, I was an only child. And while I was not an only grandchild, I was the only local grandchild. So my grandparents honestly spoiled me a lot more than my mother did. Because they had other grandkids, but they were down in Florida. They'd spoil them remotely, but I was right there. I benefited greatly from being the only local grandchild. Good stuff. Why aren't you wearing an ugly Christmas jumper or sweater in the U.S. for the season? I suppose I could have. I only really have one that I think qualifies, and it's got a stain on it, which I suppose I shouldn't care about if it's an ugly sweater, but I don't know. I feel weird about wearing something stained. Do you put candy canes on your Christmas tree? No, I don't. Santa puts the candy canes on the Christmas tree after the presents are dropped off. That's how that works. I envy that you were an only child. I got stuck with 4 other siblings. I mean, I ended up with step-siblings around 13, but only child, man. I recommend it. Have you seen Doom Patrol? I still have not. Like, the thing is, I'm probably not going to have time to even try and work on things for fun until February. Like, I'm having trouble even getting back into and finishing up the Watchmen series, because like I've got a major video project that I'm trying to get done for this month, and then major heavy workload video projects are on hold for a bit until I get the book finished. And then once that's done, I really need to catch my ass up on my commission stuff, because I am embarrassingly far behind on that. So once all that's done, if I'm lucky, by around March, maybe I can start looking into watching stuff on my own for fun. Does your daughter believe in Santa? Yes, she still does, which is nice. We weren't sure if she still would this year, but she still does, which is sweet. Thank you very much, Randomness. Not gonna lie, I was a little underwhelmed by the Loki trailer. I thought it'd be more in the style of the War Master or Missy Big Finish. See, that'll teach you to have expectations. When you have hopes, you're just setting yourself up to be let down. Expect everything to suck. Then you'll just be pleasantly surprised when it doesn't. I'm only half kidding. You make a really sexy Wonder Woman. Thank you. Folks can hop onto my TikTok for that, including a flat-out thirst trap. Yeah, I'm not even going to apologize for that. Thank you very much, D. Duval. Or is it D. Duval? I don't know. I still think 90s Simpsons is the funniest TV to ever be created. Agree or disagree? What's your funniest TV show? See, I think trying to label anything the funniest is always going to be a bit of a landmine because there are a few things more subjective than humor. Anyone who wants to say that they think that is the funniest, I'm not really going to disagree with that. But humor is so personal. Do you have a favorite queen from Six yet? Yes, I do. Sorry, give me a second. Hair is pretty. Thank you, Meg. Best version of A Christmas Carol? The Muppets. I'm not kidding. So, my favorite queen from Six. Hold on. I'm trying to remember the actual name. I could tell you what number she is in the order, but I'm trying to actually recall the name all of a sudden, and suddenly it is slipping away from me. It's number 5 is what it is. Hey, that's embarrassing. Their straps are the best. They're annoying to make though, because I'm really picky about it looking just right. I had to reshoot that a lot more times than I want to admit. To quote Kratos from God of War, accept disappointment and you never will. Your hair got longer during quarantine? Well, yeah. Haven't been cutting it, so it would. They're putting When Love Is Gone back into the Muppet Christmas Carol. Oh, cool. Catherine Howard, thank you. Thank you very much. I knew it was Catherine started with an H, but I wasn't drawing the name. Howard, thank you. Thank you very much. The George C. Scott version is my favorite, but Muppets is very close second. The George C. Scott version is legit. There's a lot of good ones. Happy Life Day. That calls for a drink. Should there ever be a version of A Christmas Carol where all the names are changed, similar to how names were changed when adapting Hamlet to The Lion King? What would be the point? I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't. Arguably, that Scrooge did that. But what would that be in aid of? I guess I'm not clear as to why you'd feel the need to do that, other than setting it in modern day and the names are outdated. I mean, that's kind of it. Love Muppet Treasure Island 2. Oh, that's a good one. Shiver my timbers, shiver my soul. Oh, good stuff. What's your least favorite Christmas song? Ooh. I don't know, I don't know. Because, it's the kind of thing that I will tune out if I hear it. So, trying to think of what are the ones I don't like. Oh, it'd be the novelty shit. Like, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, or I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. Although, I will defend that one to a certain extent because one of my burly friends makes very humorous use of that song. But outside of that context, I'm like, ugh, no. I said no sea shanties. This is more of a rock remix, so it's fine. Have you seen the 2018 The Grinch from Illumination? I did! It was boring as shit! There you go. That's my one curse for the stream. I say that, but by the time I finish this, I'll probably be swearing more. Speaking of swearing, for folks who don't already know, if you're not already following Jessie Gender on YouTube. First of all, you should. She's great. She has a Christmas special episode, or sorry, holiday special episode coming out on Friday, which there are a lot of cameos in. I would be like all, ooh, mysterious, maybe I'm in it, except like I'm on the thumbnail image, so obviously I'm in it. But the reason I bring this up, the reason I thought to bring this up because of mentioning swearing is later on this month, I think, like maybe even to cap off the year, she's got a blooper reel from all the footage sent to her from the various people who cameoed. And she let me get an early look at that blooper reel because she knows I don't swear on the channel. And given how much of the blooper reel is taken up with me swearing, she wanted to be sure I was okay with that going live. So look forward to towards the end of the year, me cursing up an absolute storm because trying to get me to work scripted lines goes very badly. Let's see. Something my dad and I talked about the other day is we're confused on why Hollywood keep making live action remakes. It's not making any money. It is, though. It actually is. If it didn't make money, they'd stop. It does. And actually, in the case of the Disney live action remakes, some of those were the biggest films released in their respective years. The Beauty and the Beast one made over $1 billion. They do make money. Depressingly so. I'm hoping that Mulan and the reaction to that might be the start of things turning against this. But no, they've been successful. They would have stopped long before if they hadn't been. See, that's the thing. If you find yourself asking, why are they doing that? That doesn't make money. Look into it. Odds are it probably does. Because if it didn't, they wouldn't keep doing it. Because there are things that'll be one-offs where a studio or whatever will sign off on something and go, oh, well, that didn't work. But you know what? They don't do it again after that. No swearing. You mean you try to be kids-friendly? I mean, I guess. The thing is, like, I definitely don't make any of my content to appeal to children, but I don't want to alienate anyone who's sensitive about swearing. I don't feel like me cursing is worth turning off certain segments of my audience. That said, I swear a heck of a lot in my day-to-day life, as you will see on the blooper reel when that goes up. I haven't seen Mulan. Is it still costing extra? No, I think it's just part of Disney Plus streaming now. How far away from your Avatar Season 2 review? I'm about halfway through the season, so I don't know. However long it takes me to get through the latter half. Don't try and get me to commit to deadlines. People, you fools! What are you drinking? I am drinking warm apple cider and mulled mead. Favorite and least favorite Christmas movie? Love Actually has become the Christmas tradition movie for me. Least favorite? I don't know. Probably something that I forgot I watched, because my least favorite would actually probably be something boring. Because while Last Christmas was bad, it's fun to talk about because of how bad it is. Wow. There needs to be a Doctor Who Christmas episode about the what? About the gavel goat? I'm missing something there. Okay. You're looking lovely tonight. Thank you. Don't try to make me comment on deadlines. You sound like my audio drama actors. Legit. As someone who's done a bit of audio drama acting this year for nothing that's out, and so I'm not gonna spell that. It's not my place to do so. Yeah, no, legit. Honestly, legit for any actor. That's the thing about getting actors for voice work. If they're recording from home, they're setting their own schedule. There's your mistake. You force them into a studio that you've rented, you can make them do the work. You were nominated for a Tony. What's your reaction? I'm not on Broadway. How the hell did that happen? That's my reaction. How much of classic Who have you seen, and what ones do you want to see next? I don't even, I've probably seen about half of what is available. That's a rough guess. I don't know. I'm not like going through a checklist. Gävle is a Swedish city where they have a tradition of putting up a big goat statue. There's also a tradition of people trying to destroy it. Sounds like people. Have you seen the classic Doctor Who blooper where Tom Baker swears at K9 because he never knows the answer when it's important? I feel like I've seen that once. I think it's been a while, though. You weren't nominated for a Tony for your performance in Sweeney Todd. What's your reaction? There's a hole in the world like a great black pit, and it's filled with people and it's filled with shit. The vermin of the world inhabit it, but not for long. I've slowly grown to hate A Christmas Story. It's not bad, just so overexposed. I just can't get away from the leg lamp. The thing was, I never saw that one as a kid. I didn't see that one until I was an adult. Actually, same with the stop motion Rankin Bass stuff. I never saw any of that as a kid. The Rankin Bass holiday special that I grew up on was 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, which was hand-drawn 2D animated, the one with the mice. It's got really sweet songs, that one. I feel like it's under-remembered. There's more to the world than meets the eye. It's good stuff. Which is the better water, eggnog or mulled wine? That is mood dependent. You can whistle or hum, you'll be back. Ms. Wicked Wolf, you're very into getting me to sing, and I'm not doing it enough for you on my own. Christmas wishes come true. If you were to land a part in A Midsummer Night's Dream, would you rather play Puck or Lady Titania? Puck! Puck! Always. Always and forever. Because you cannot tell me I'm not allowed to gender fuck a fairy. I do not have to present masculine to play Puck. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Do you like the SCP animation here on YouTube, like the Rubber Dr. Bob or Lord Bung? Also, will your book be available in Germany? I don't know any of those YouTubers, and I don't know what SCP animation is. Thank you very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Will the book be available in Germany? I think so. I'm not that far yet. It should be available in European territories. My last one was. So I think so. It's not going to be available in German. I don't have a translator, I trust. People who have only the film version of Sweeney Todd don't understand how darkly funny it is on stage. At its best, yeah, it can be quite darkly funny. Some of the humor, I like. Some of the stuff with Toby, honestly, on stage makes me uncomfortable. I was in Midsummer Night's once playing a mechanical. Those are fun too. But I want Puck. I want him so bad. Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be. Oh, I want to play Puck and I just want to mess with people so much. Oh. What's your favorite mythical creature in any mythology? I'm always partial to a good dragon. If can do scary or horror moments in Marvel Comics or in kid shows. And the problem with that kind of stuff is I can only speak to my own experience, and I feel like I haven't kept up with a lot of that stuff. And so like when I did, like a while back, I did lists of movies that always make me cry or movies that always freak me out. It was very personal to me. I didn't try and make an argument as to why these are scary to other people, because I knew if I tried to make it sound more objective, then people would come at me with a million examples of stuff that I hadn't seen and didn't know. And I feel like me trying to cite scary kids material is going to suffer from the same thing. I can only speak to stuff that I've seen that's aimed at kids that I think is scary or what have you. But I know in comments on any video like that, there's going to be 5 million things that I have never seen. Vera, I think Snow should play Puck. Carolyn, I would argue that Snow is Puck. And anyone who has ever seen me host a burlesque show knows what that means. And anyone else, well, you miss a good show. What's the story behind the weapons? They're mine and I own them, and they're on a rack. There isn't really a story. They are a thing that I own. No, just like these are things that I own. If you were going to make a list of movies you hate but everyone else loves, which would be number one? Ferris Bueller or The Shining? Probably The Shining, because I feel like more people are on my side about Ferris Bueller. So The Shining would be the hotter take. Which version of dragons? Asian, medieval, fantasy? See, you're not going to nail me down on that because I love the flexibility of a dragon. You know what's crazy to me? There's tons of movies and shows, etc., based on Greek and Norse mythology, and yet little to nothing about Celtic mythology or Native American. Yeah, no, nice rack. Oh, well played, Pirates. Yeah, I feel like you're more likely to get Celtic iconography or bits and pieces of it, but it's rarely adapted as like, let's tell this story. But now, to be fair, part of that has to do with the fact that we have better record of what the Greek and Norse myths were. The thing about trying, and again, there's certainly more that can be done to take inspiration from, but the thing about trying to do Native American or Celtic mythology is it was largely an oral tradition, which means, first of all, it's not uniform. It varies all over the place because the oral tradition dictates that it changes and evolves over time. And so wherever it's being told, it's going to be a little different than where it's told other places. There isn't a definitive version the way that there is with Greek mythology, with Norse mythology. Although, honestly, not even with Greek or Norse mythology, because a lot of those are adapting earlier mythologies anyways. But because we have written works to consult for those, it's a lot easier to go to them and not feel like you're screwing it up. Because if you pick, even if you like go to a direct source for a Celtic myth, you pick, this is the story I'm going to tell, there's going to be other people from the region steeped in that lore or from that culture who are going to say, no, you did it wrong because their version doesn't match the one you did. It's a much more of a minefield to try and do that, which I think is why it shows up in very scant, very like background or world building elements kind of way, as opposed to we're flat out telling this story from this culture and from this folklore and mythology, if that makes sense. What's your favorite animated film and why? Oh, God damn, I don't know. Like, you need to realize I love animation so much, I don't really distinguish, it's sometimes practically for the purposes of movie lists I do, but in my head, I don't segment animated movies away from live action. So, I don't like have a separate list in my head. And Summer Wars would be right up there. I'm not sure it'd be number one, though. I don't know. If you ever review Glee, I can't even finish the rest of that question. If I ever review Glee. You're funny. Japanese media loves lifting from Christian mythology to reckless abandon. I mean, a lot of Christianity is already cobbled together of a bunch of other stuff that's been mashed up, so why the heck not? I played Nick Bottom in a college Shakespeare production, and the director told Hippolyta to lust after me. Ooh, as if I was her submissive toy. Oh dear. Are you aware of the Egyptian mythology around Horus and Set? I've known it. I need a refresher on it. I have heard it. I have been aware of it previously. I couldn't recite it off the top of my head. Favorite dance style? I don't know. Move the way that feels right. Pole. Would you watch Hellbent on loop before you review Glee? I might not, just for the sake of experiencing a different kind of pain. But I'm like, look, I will have out next year my third video dedicated explicitly to Hellbent. I have voluntarily rewatched Hellbent an unsettling number of times given how much I hate it. I will never voluntarily watch Glee. Pay me. Oh, thank you, Carolyn, Discord. Let's see. So give me a second, folks. I'm going to be off the chat in a little bit while I pop on over to the Discord and grab those questions, because the Discord is a Patreon perk and there is a channel in the Discord for the live stream that guarantees I will answer questions if asked. So one more reason to sign up for the Patreon if you haven't already. Okay, I'm done whoring myself. Give me a second. Okay. Favorite lesser known Christmas movie? I'm not sure I've really got a lesser known Christmas movie that I'm particularly fond of. I kind of go in for the standards. I mean, the lesser known Christmas special I really like, I already mentioned, the Rankin and Bass 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, which is usually forgotten versus all their other stuff. Have you seen Klaus? I have not. I've been meaning to, but I have yet to get around to it. Excluding Pixar, which animated Disney movies have the best and worst animation, regardless of the quality of the movies themselves? First of all, I'm glad you excluded Pixar, because I completely deal with them separately. I never lump the two together. Because like I feel fundamentally the difference in approach between Disney and Pixar. So, best and worst animation. Ooh. That is... Trying to name a best animation, like visual stylings, for Disney, that feels almost impossible. I think it's going to come down to a matter of taste and which style appeals to you the most, because, you know, how do you compare something like Fantasia to Sleeping Beauty to The Lion King to Moana? They're all freaking gorgeous in their own ways. As for what has the worst animation, probably something like the Aristocats. There was a phase where they kind of went for this sort of sketchy look, like it was almost kind of half finished. I never thought it looked very good. That's probably what I go with for that. A Charlie Brown Christmas versus Muppet Christmas Carol. Both are great, of course, but if you could only watch one each year, which would it be? Oh, probably Muppet Christmas Carol because I enjoy singing along to the songs. But, oh, that's tough. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? No. And here's why. In my mind, a Christmas movie is not simply a movie that takes place at Christmas. It is a movie whose plot would have to fundamentally change if it was set at any other time of year besides Christmas. The only impact that the Christmas timing has on Die Hard is superficial. The ho 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 gags, some of his lines, the fact that there's a Christmas party, but the thing is, that party could have been for like they just like closed a major deal. It could have just been any celebratory after hours party. It didn't have to be a Christmas party in order to facilitate the rest of the plot. That plot still can happen even if the movie isn't set at Christmas. All that changes is superficiality. Now, I have no problem with watching it as a Christmas movie, certainly as alternate viewing. If you don't take or need a break from more traditional Christmas, cool, go for it. But if you are pushing me against the wall, hand at my throat. No, sorry, and asking me, is it a Christmas movie? The answer is no. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so somebody in the Discord answered that, said, yes, best Christmas movie ever, next to Jim Carrey's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. All right. Morgan, I don't know if you're in the live chat, but we're going to have words, I think. Is Batman Returns a Christmas movie? No! No. Die Hard is more of a movie than Batman Returns is, and I don't think Die Hard's a Christmas movie either, so there you go. See, like, some people really seem to go, just because it's set at Christmas makes it a Christmas movie. No! That's not enough. Like, just because a movie has parts that make you laugh doesn't make it a comedy. There are hilarious lines in dramatic, heavy, tragic, horrific movies. They're not comedies all of a sudden just because it made you laugh with the one line. It's not a Christmas movie just because of the timing. It has to do with something that runs deeper than that for you to call a film a comedy. And that is how I approach what I call a Christmas movie. All right. Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie? It is a Christmas movie except for the opening number. You want to play that at Halloween? Go nuts. Is Gremlins a Christmas movie? Yes, that one is, because the impact of Christmas actually runs pretty deep in that one. And there are fairly significant things you would have to change to remove Christmas from that movie. Iron Man 3, I forgot Iron Man 3 was set at Christmas, so I'm going to say no. Is that what most of the Discord is? Is this a Christmas movie? Is this not? I haven't seen it for years, but I wonder how Trading Places holds up. That is definitely a Christmas movie. I don't know if it is. Like, the stuff that happens around Christmas certainly has some impacts on some of the iconography. Like, that one I feel like's right on the fence. Because while Christmas is significant in that movie, I don't know if it's persistent enough across the film. As to whether or not it holds up, for the most part it does. Until the scene on the train with Dan Aykroyd in blackface. That part does not hold up. At all. Rest of it pretty well, actually. Sorry that this is taking longer than usual. There's way more comments in the Discord than is standard. Ooh, I should not have downed the rest of that fast. Hello. Let's see. Somebody posted a link to an article on seven films that may or may not be Christmas movies. I'm not sure that I'm gonna go read an article, but that'll be something for me to check out later. Who in the world watches Die Hard 2? Not me. There are only two Die Hards. There's Die Hard and there's Die Hard with a Vengeance. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Cool. Give me a second. Popping back. Okay. When should we expect the Owl House review in the break room you mentioned earlier? I've shot it. I need to edit it, but right now I'm devoting my editing time to stuff that like I definitely have a deadline on. So I don't know. I have shot it. I need to edit it. And time is not on my side with a lot of stuff right now. Okay. I feel like I'm the person who never watched Christmas movies or specials. I've seen the Doctor Who specials, but that's about it. I mean, to each their own. Fair enough. Did you know there's an 18 movie with Liam Neeson and Bradley Cooper? It's a balls-to-wall action movie, and I love it. I knew it existed. I've never seen it. Favorite and least favorite Fantasia segments. Favorite's probably Night on Bald Mountain. Least favorite, Ave Maria, honestly. I mean, it's a good way to come down after Bald Mountain, but taken as a segment in and of itself, it's boring. Best actor to play Santa. Ooh. Nick Frost, why not? To be fair, Die Hard and Iron Man 3 also have themes that Christmas movies share with family connections and the like, which gives them a bit of a boost in terms of Christmas status. I suppose, but it's not like those themes are unique to Christmas. You know what I mean? I mean, he's there to try and get back with his wife. It's going to have a familial connection thing no matter when you said it. I've always been forgiving to Love and Monsters, but rewatched it the other day and learned there's actually a lot more wrong with it than just a bad monster design. No kidding! Like, there is a kernel of an idea at the heart of Love and Monsters that I can get behind, but nothing about the execution works on that. I was telling you that you will hate Rachel Berry from Glee. She has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. I'll just take your word on that. Would you ever watch Hell of a Boss by Vizzy Pop? I don't know what like half those words were. Probably not. Do you plan to see Wolfwalker soon? Yes, but that's another one I'm going to watch with my kid because I know she's going to love it. How about Brian Blessed as Santa? What was he Santa in? Or is that a theoretical casting? Did you know there's an Indian miniseries of Stephen King's It? I think I'd heard that. I don't know if I actually did know that, though. Have you seen The Snowman with the David Bowie intro? Nope. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you for a wonderful stream, as always. Okay, sweet dreams. Thank you for joining. Have you seen the Eurovision, The Story of Fire saga? I only know that Eurovision exists. That's where it begins and ends for me. The one saving grace of Ernest Saves Christmas is Douglas Seal as Santa. I've heard that. I'm not going to watch it. If you ever met someone who likes and defends cuties, what will you say to them? I don't know because I haven't seen the movie. Like, don't ask me for an opinion on something that seems to have a really heated conversation around it that I haven't seen. And to be clear, I also don't plan to see it. But, like, I'm not wading into that. No. 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 What the hell was that? What did I do? Okay. I'm tipsy. That's what that was. There are fans in the Doctor Who corner of Instagram that legitimately believe, hold on, that legitimately believe Love and Monsters is a masterpiece. I don't like to flat out hate on opinions, but boy, I feel like most of the arguments I've seen in defense of Love and Monsters are defending the concept and not doing a very good job of defending the episode itself. But like I said, I can get behind the core idea, but the execution is just garbage. I'm sorry, it is. And funnily enough, I feel like that's a fairly standard refuge a lot of times with entertainment that doesn't work. People who like it, and I'm not saying this necessarily this is the reason they like it, but they tend to have a go-to defense of defending the ideas behind the movie or the show, defending what it was trying to say and not dealing with what it actually ended up as. Defenses of Batman v Superman really fall under this category. I've seen defenses, and they all seem to be based around, but it's doing this idea. I'm like, okay, but it did that idea badly. It doesn't matter what the idea is. If you fail, try to find a different F word. If you fail to deliver it, doesn't matter how good the idea was. Bing Crosby and Rosemary Clooney and White Christmas is my all-time favorite classic holiday movie. Do you have one? I do like White Christmas. I actually like White Christmas a lot. I'm more partial to Danny Kaye in that one, though, personally. Rosemary Clooney's great, though. I don't watch a lot of the quote-unquote classic Christmas movies. I think I've only seen It's a Wonderful Life once. It was fine, but I didn't grow up on it, so it's not part of my own tradition, holiday movie rotation. Is there an animation style you want to see again because it's so interesting and unique? Well, I mean, my go-to answer for that is I actually can see again, and that's the animation style behind Secret of Kells, Wolfwalkers, which is now out, but I haven't seen yet, and I want to. It's gorgeous. I absolutely love that animation style. To pick something that I haven't seen done too many times since then, there's something really unique about the animation techniques, or at least the combination of animation techniques, that was used by the animated version of The Maxx, M-A-X-X, for MTV back in the 90s. Because it took some of the techniques of anime, but is the only example that I can think of off the top of my head. There may be others. If there are, I have not encountered them. It's the only example I can think of off the top of my head that took anime techniques but did not include anime stylization in the design. Because the design is completely its own thing. But it absolutely takes a lot of playbooks from anime in terms of having somebody standing there and the character, for the most part, does not move. It's it's a locked off image. And to save money, the only thing that's animated is the mouth and maybe the hair and the wind. They make deliberate choices to animate fewer elements, which is a technique largely borrowed from anime as a budget saving cost. But that means that the stuff that they do animate flows more naturally and moves nicer because they're animating fewer pieces. And like I said, it doesn't adopt anime style. And I really love that combination. I never realized how problematic the ending to Idiot's Lantern was until your video. Oh my God, Rose needs a good talking to. Yeah, I feel like sometimes some of the things I get hung up on and people didn't realize, I end up ruining stuff for people. But yeah, no, seriously. Rose, get a therapist. For me, it's the style of Osamu Tezuka, the guy who made Astro Boy. Well, yeah, that's sort of the epitome of that style. Do you know the lyrics to You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch? Yes, but not all of them. because so the version I had of that movie was taped off of TV, and it had a slightly shortened version of that song to make room for more commercials. So there's one verse that I don't know very well that's from the proper full version of the song, but the rest of it I know. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Can't keep singing it, unfortunately, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice to remind myself that I'm a baritone sometimes. The 3 words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote: stink, stank, stunk. Let's see. I had a super chat. Here we go. From I don't know. I don't know if that's even meant to be spoken out loud. Makeup tips for newly out gender fluid person. All right, start simple. And when I say simple, the basics to start with: lipstick, eyeliner, eyeshadow. Basic thing for eyeshadow is you do 2 different shades. The darker shade goes on the lid, the lighter shade goes in the upper part. Do not do uniform top to bottom unless you're going goth and doing black all the way up. And never do the darker shade on top. I mean, I say never. There are probably times that you can make that look work, but that's like advanced stuff. Do not buy a crap ton of makeup at the start. Master a couple of things initially. Get used to lipstick, master lipstick. And I'm gonna recommend getting, honestly, cheap makeup to learn with. Don't go springing for the really nice stains that stay for a while, and you're just gonna burn through it, through the aggravation. Especially, I love lip stain. I love it a lot, and color stay things, but you don't want to mess with that until you know you're putting it on in a shape that you're going to want, because trying to fix that stuff is a pain in the butt. But if you start with relatively cheap makeup, just so you can get used to the process of putting it on before you start spending more money on it. I'm not going to give a lot of tips on foundation, A, because I don't use it very much anymore, and B, I always felt like there were a bunch of things that I should have been doing with my foundation that I wasn't. So I don't really feel all that qualified to talk on that topic, but start with lips, start with eyes, be patient, start cheap, and find tutorials. There's 50 million of them. Again, try and start basic. Don't start with drag queen makeup tutorials. You will get discouraged. I can't do that crap. Favorite Studio Ghibli film? My Neighbor Totoro. Thoughts on the motion capture animation style used in Polar Express and the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol? Pointless. Absolutely pointless. What is the point of bringing animation up to the point that it practically looks like live action? At that point, just shoot live action. What is the freaking point? See, I say that, I know the point. The point is it gives the director more direct control over everything that's going on, but it ain't worth it. Counterpoint to your earlier argument, since it starts on Halloween and ends on Christmas, thus kind of falling in the middle, Nightmare Before Christmas is a Thanksgiving movie. Just because it deals with both doesn't mean that any part of its structure lands in the middle, but I appreciate your argument. Do you like rock, and if so, what band or artist? I don't pay attention to what genres of music anything I listen to is. I mean, if I were to look it up, I'd probably find most of the stuff I listen to is pop. I like some classic rock. I like the Stones. I like Queen. I like the Beatles. I like Fleetwood Mac. I don't know what's going on in rock right now. I feel like everything went hard and it all turned into metal, and which I'm very picky about. Let's see.
You think it would be better if Series 9 ended with Face the Raven and Twice Upon a Time was replaced with a slightly altered Heaven Sent? No, I would still put Heaven Sent after Face the Raven, but I would just change the ending so it doesn't lead into Hellbent, and then we don't do Hellbent. And we just scrap Twice Upon a Time and have the 12th Doctor regenerate at the end of The Doctor Falls, which is really what should have happened. Not that I dislike Twice Upon a Time. I actually don't. I'll go to bat for it as a piece in and of itself, but it's a weaker sign-off than The Doctor Falls, like significantly weaker as an exit point. How to best handle broad shoulders with MTF clothing? Sleeveless. That's going to be your big thing. Is getting stuff that's sleeveless, which is why dresses and tank tops are a lot of my go-to stuff. If I were to show you my closet of more feminine stuff, it's pretty much all like strap or sleeveless or even like t-shirts or what have you. Like some of the sweaters are longer, but like you can go oversized on a sweater and not have it look weird the way going oversized on a shirt does. That's going to be the main thing to counteract broad shoulders. Avoid something that's going to cling to them. Excuse me. If you have BritBox, you need to watch Spitting Image. Somebody else mentioned that. I feel like last stream. I don't know anything about that one. Heaven Sent should have been the finale to Series 9. Yes. Yes, it should have. What's worse, Series 7 or Series 11? I don't know. I don't know because the problems with each one are very, very different. And so I feel like you're splitting hairs about which you personally think is a bigger issue. Having a badly disjointed series that doesn't flow worth a dang, or just having a majority of meh episodes. And I don't know an answer right now. Something I tend to do because I'm autistic, I take a lot of things very literal, so the concept of gender fluid always confused me on a biological standpoint. Sometimes the terms we use can be confusing. Thoughts on Polar Express and the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol? I'm not a huge fan of either. I've seen both. Well, I think I've seen Polar Express maybe twice. I've seen the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol once. I don't need to see either of them again. I think Toast and Cole would be good as the geeky technical one of Hans Gruber's gang if they did a prequel movie starring Benedict Cumberbatch as Gruber. You've put a lot of thought into that. They're not talking about doing that, are they? Dear God, I hope not. Let's see. So many of the best classic bands and metal bands is that they're dying, literally. I mean, yeah. Happens to the best of us and the worst of us eventually. It is the true equalizer. Death is the one thing that is truly, properly democratic. Everybody gets to do it. You only get to do it once. It's the same for everybody. Am I late? Are you late? I'm thinking about wrapping up soon. So, yeah, a little bit. Have you seen Anna and the Apocalypse? It's a zombie Christmas musical movie, and it works surprisingly well. I've heard of it. I have not seen it. Favorite sonic screwdriver? Mine. I just like an excuse to show this thing off. Thank you, Microraptor. I like to joke that the reason I'm pan is because my ADHD makes it hard to focus on one gender. Okay, look. Serious conversation about that. I don't think that my ADHD is the cause of my gender fluidity. However, I do think it is a factor in my inability to commit to any one thing in a lot of areas of my life, including my gender, including my sexuality, including my creative outlets, including some, no, I'm not gonna go there. But there's a lot of elements of my life that I'm like, I dabble in 5 million things rather than pick one and go like, that's my thing. And I think ADHD has an effect on that, or is at play at least a little. Any thoughts on Blacklist? Never watched it. Huey Lewis technically should have 2 Oscar nominations, seeing as Ray Parker Jr. ripped him off. You can only choose one, Queen or the Rolling Stones? Queen. Wait. How do you get the sonic screwdriver? How do you get your own sonic screwdriver? You pay somebody an embarrassing amount of money to make you a custom one. And Etsy is a wonderful place, my friends. So yes, this sonic screwdriver is mine. This is my doctor's sonic screwdriver. I love this thing. It's so bright you can't see it so well, but see if I can. Well, it's got, you know, cogs and gears, and it's got just a little strip of circuitry on it, just hanging off the side. It looks cobbled together, which I love. That to me is part of the appeal of a sonic screwdriver. I don't like a sonic screwdriver that's too sleek. I think that might ultimately be part of my issue with this one. It feels like it came off an assembly line. And obviously, like, it did in terms of it's a toy that came off an assembly line. But this one, I think more than any other, just feels stamped out. It is one of the elements I kind of like about this one because it feels more cobbled together. It feels more unique. And that is absolutely what I love about mine. Because this absolutely, like, looks like it was thrown together in a hurry. I love that. Next movie live stream you should watch, Theodore Rex, and I will make dinosaur puns. Pay me. I will not watch that movie without being paid. Second favorite Sonic? Probably Matt Smith's. Just because I like that it does more than just glow. I like the additional action of that, and that it's more, and like, because 10's extended as well, but there's just something, there's a nice punctuation to that, which I really appreciate. Okay, let's see. What element would you bend, and where did you get your pride ring? Okay, so this is actually my second one. This somebody sent me because my original one cracked. That one I got at a vintage store. I don't know where the person who sent me this one found it, because I have looked. Because when my first one cracked, I looked for the same thing and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I don't know where this one specifically came from, but whoever did send it to me, thank you. What color lightsaber would you have? Dark purple. Not the sort of magenta, but a dark purple. Like maybe there's a hint of red behind it. Thoughts on the second Dr. Sonic? What, you mean the pen light? I'm kind of scared to ask, but are you a gamer? And if so, what genre do you like? I am not a gamer. I was once upon a time. I grew up on video games. I talked earlier about getting my Nintendo at Christmas, and you know, I had a Super Nintendo, had an N64, bought a PlayStation with my own money. That was the first gaming console that I bought for myself with my own cash. Played PlayStation 2, GameCube, and that was about where I kind of stopped. The only reason I have a PS3 was that was a Christmas present. But that's also where I stopped. Because initially, I just didn't have the time, the free time. And I still don't, to be completely honest about it. That's part of, there's a 3-factor reason why I am not currently a gamer. 1, I can't afford it. 2, I don't have the free time to properly enjoy it even if I could afford it. And 3, I'm a bit too disgusted with too much of what goes on in the video gaming industry to comfortably partake in current generation stuff. That having all been said, if and when I eventually replace my laptop, because I'm going to have to at some point, I may indulge indie PC gaming. So, you know, I mean, like Undertale's the obvious go-to, but things like that, or Return of the Obra Dinn was one that I'd be interested to play, or Disco Elysium. You know, things made by smaller teams that aren't the AAA video game sector, and that are going to run on a machine that I'm going to have to own anyways, because I need a computer to do this job. That's the one. That's maybe where I ease back into gaming. No promises at all on this. The Doctor is a Witch King. Hades is great since it was made without crunch. I have played Bastion from that same developer, because I could get that game on my phone. It's great. So yeah, I would love to play their other games, because they've got Transistor and Hades and Pyre. And I'd be down for playing any or all of them. Favorite board or tabletop game? I'm a fan of the Unlock series. Ooh, okay. Oh, well, I mean, I'm a D&D gamer, so I do enjoy that. If we're talking board games, I don't know. I feel like I'd probably get more into some of the more recent elaborate stuff. I just haven't played a lot of it. Spitting Image is a satire show using puppet caricatures of celebrities and politicians. I feel like it's going to grate on me. I might still give it a shot at some point. You'll probably have to keep reminding me, but I think you would like Abzu if you went back into games. Very pretty. You know, it was a game that I loved that did run on my PS3. I love Journey. Journey was gorgeous. Oh, that game was so good. Favorite subtle joke in Die Hard is when one of the terrorists brings Ellis a can of Coke because they obviously misunderstood him. Oh, that's a good point. Theodore Rex will drive you wild. I think I need to do this with these glasses more. I feel like these are the perfect frames for glaring over them at somebody. I am gonna wrap it up soon. I've run long. As much as the cause thing is a joke, I agree that it probably influenced both my sexuality and trans identity. Yeah, honestly, I think that's fair. I mean, in general, there is a higher percentage of neurodiversity, neurodivergence in the trans and LGBTQ plus community than there is in the cis hetero community. Not high enough a percentage for it to be like, it's the cause, but like, it happens at a higher rate by most accounts that have studied both. Does Total Recall count as a cornflakes commercial? Yes, it does. Okay, I do need to wrap up. You make all eyeglasses frames shady. There are some naughty, naughty people in the chat tonight. We may have to go around back to my office and have a long talk about your behavior. Why don't you watch The Mandalorian? Because I'm not comfortable looking at, oh God, why Rosario Dawson? And look, I say that knowing that the charges were, they weren't charges, they weren't even criminal. I am aware of the fact that the lawsuit was dropped. I am aware of that. So I'm not saying that I still think she did the things that she was accused of. I'm not saying that no one else should watch it, but I still don't feel comfortable watching her yet. And I think what needs to happen for me is there needs to be probably, honestly, a year between now and when I'll be comfortable. And in that year, nothing else needs to have happened. Because I feel like what went on with J.K. Rowling has really put me on high alert. So when something like what happened with Rosario Dawson happens, even if later indications are, okay, it probably wasn't what it looked like, part of me is still going to be nervous for a while because I'm going to be wondering in the back of my head, is this going to turn out to be the warning, the early warning sign that a lot of us ignored? Like back when J.K. Rowling liked transphobic tweets and followed a transphobic person on Twitter. There were defenses to be made, but in hindsight, we can go back and go, those were the early warning signs. And I need enough time to pass with someone like Rosario Dawson where nothing new has come up, where I can be comfortable thinking, okay, it wasn't an early warning sign. Now I'm going to be comfortable. And that's the thing. I'm not saying that that this should apply to anyone else. Anyone who wants to watch The Mandalorian, I'm not going to question your stance as either trans yourself or a trans ally or anything. I'm not comfortable yet. I hope I will be. I've liked Rosario Dawson as an actress for a very, very long time. But I'm not comfortable. Not yet. So that's why. She's in one episode, skip it? No! I'm not going to kneecap my ability to appreciate a piece of artwork like that. I would rather wait. I would rather wait till I am comfortable to enjoy it on its own terms. And if I never get comfortable, I will never watch it. I'm at a point where my entertainment is not more important than the impact of the people involved in it. This is why my Harry Potter stuff isn't up anymore. And so, like, for instance, I'm going off on tangents now, but this is what's happened. Roll with me. There are a number of creators on TikTok who do Hogwarts comedy stuff mainly, and it's great. I love it. And pretty much all of them have at some point, trust me, I went back and looked before I started following any of them. They have disavowed Rowling's beliefs. But the thing is, and while I'm not saying this to shake a finger at anybody, the reason I still won't make that content, even though part of me would like to, is because I would be bolstering the profile of the very influence that she is now wielding against people like me. And I'm not okay doing that just so I can have fun. I think part of that's age. There was a time when I would have been one of those people who said, I'm just here to have fun. Why do I have to think about this other stuff? But, you know, I'm going to be 40 in less than a year and a half. I don't have the excuse of youth to keep thinking that. And I'm not okay with that thought process, certainly for myself, anymore. The time has come for me to put my money where my mouth is. And if the people behind a piece of media, even one that I really, really love, are hurting and harming people through the influence that they garnered from that kind of work, I don't feel comfortable hiding behind the excuse of, but it's just entertainment, it's just for fun. Because with someone like J.K. Rowling, we see what happens when creators choose to wield the influence that they get from the high profile we grant to their work and to them. And different people's level of comfort with all this is going to vary. Not everyone's going to have the same level of discomfort that I do. And that's okay. But I don't have much use for it's just meant to be fun. You don't have to think about this other stuff. I can't go there anymore. I do have to think about it. I'm too old and I'm too aware of the world to not. So, there we go. You do what's good for you. That's what I try and do. I do my best. I am not a perfect human being. But, you know, I try. That's all I can do. That's all anybody can do. Don't tell me your office is soundproof. I doubt you will ever have the opportunity to find out. It always makes me uncomfortable when I see Rowling's books, both new and old, still for sale in my local bookstore. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. If there's one game dev I like because of their attitude to make a video game is Platinum Games, and who made Bayonetta. Yeah, I've heard good things about them. People who say it's just for fun don't seem to complain when people get emotional value from movies for less controversial reasons. I mean, the thing about the it's just for fun is it's ultimately a self-serving justification. It's, I want to keep enjoying the thing I enjoy and not grapple with the ramifications of my enjoyment of it. And I get that as an instinct. I absolutely understand that. But that's really immature. And the amount of slack I'll cut somebody taking that position is honestly going to vary a lot depending on how old they are. Anybody my age, certainly anybody older. People in their 20s, depending on how much of a dick they are about it, But, yeah. Where do you get all your cool glasses frames? Zenni Optical. Zenni. Not a sponsor. I'm just a fan. Completely fair enough. Anyway, have a good night and a great Christmas. Yeah, I need to wrap this up. Should we feel more represented by the fact that we're not denied anymore? I don't know who the we is in that statement. If you mean LGBTQ plus groups in general, the absence of denial of your existence is not the same as representation. It's a step towards representation, but no, they do not equate. Okay, Stop adding me. You people have figured me out that my eyes zero in on when you at me, and I have to no. I'm putting my hand up so I don't see the chat. I need to stop. I need to call it a night. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the month. I hope whatever holidays you choose to celebrate, you celebrate them safely and lovingly and communicate however you have to with the people who matter to you. We won't be speaking again until after Christmas, but that means that I will do an unboxing for whatever has been sent to me by whoever felt like sending me stuff, because it seems to happen around the holidays from time to time. Of course, I say that. Watch it turn out I don't get enough stuff to have it be worth an unboxing, and I just look like a fool. Regardless, I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday season. You are beautiful. Oh, you know what? You are beautiful, you are valid, and you are loved. You are the council. I am just running the meetings. And until next time, this council is adjourned. My cabinet